All right, let's start it up. We are back with a new game here called Demon's Bluff. This was a game I saw on a stream and was like, wow, this seems really fun, and I immediately wanted to try it. So here we are. I didn't even know about this game 12 hours ago, and I'm already making a video for it. So I'm going to read you the brief little thing from the Steam page, and then we're going to jump right into it. So Demon's Bluff combines the tension of social deduction games with the replayability of a single-player roguelike card game. Your goal is to gather information from around the village to find and slay all the evil characters. Villagers will help you track them down with information and abilities, but be careful because demons and minions will mislead you. So this is just the demo, of course. It doesn't come out, unfortunately, until Q1 of 2026, and it's a pretty small team of exactly 2 people working on this, and it is quite impressive. Obviously, we're going to be in standard because I haven't unlocked endless, and deck building doesn't exist in the demo. Also, I'm already on Ascension 2 because I wanted to play a couple rounds to make sure I knew what was happening, and then I got carried away. And so we're starting on Ascension 2, and that's just like I've accidentally been playing the game for a little while here without clicking record because I just got enthralled. So it's also good though because we will skip most of the tutorial stuff, but basically there's one evil among all the characters. So basically every in the standard mode you're given a deck of 6 currently. I believe it scales up a little bit past 6, and there's 4 villagers in this one, 1 outcast and 1 evil. So of these 6 cards, they will be these 4. So we're gonna have the medium, which when they reveal, we're gonna learn a good character. The scout will tell us how far away evil is from another evil. Not sure how that's gonna work with just the 1 evil. The jester will tell us if we pick 3, how many of them are evil. And the knight can't die, which is important because it's basically a free check, I think. Because you can try to execute them, and if they're evil, they'll just die, and if they're not evil, they won't die, and then you know they're good. The wretch here is basically appears to be an evil minion for terms of abilities, so that's how the scout looks like it's gonna work here. Is it'll basically tell you how far these 2 are apart, because this one is not actually evil, but the other cards think it is. And then this is, of course, the evil witch, which says we can't reveal the last card, and also lies and disguises. Which is pretty important because with only 1, if they disguise here, it pretends to be someone else, but then we'll end up with a double, and that'll make it pretty obvious. So my strategy so far has just been to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in order. So number 1 is telling us that 5 is real. So we can actually just check that. And this more or less has to be true because, well, if this is wrong, then they die, but that means this was wrong, and 2 things can't be wrong because there's only 1 evil. So we tried to execute the knight, and of course that's right. So we know they're good, and we know they're good because that checked out. So that already narrows that down. Gotta remember we're playing against a witch here, so we are in fact can't reveal the last one, so we got to pick the last one here. So I'm playing it slightly differently than just going around and revealing them all. The jester here, we don't have to, doesn't get used immediately. We get to activate that. That's what this symbol here means. So the witch is 2 cards away from the closest evil, so that probably means one of these is the wretch and one of them's the well, whichever one of these is the wretch, I guess, which is this one. So, because this counts as evil, so that means that either, let me get my marks, one of these 2 is evil, and we can't reveal this last one, which actually kind of sucks, because we can't reveal that last one, and this one's just gonna lie to us, so if they are evil. So yeah, I guess we'll still use the ability. So if we use the ability and we know these 2 are good, and if we pick that one and they say there's 1 evil, that doesn't help us. If they say there's no evil, well, then they're outing themselves, and I don't think that would do it. So I think if we pick, we know you're good, and we don't know about you, I don't know if that helps us anyway. I might have just screwed it up. I don't know if there's a way we could have used this jester to guarantee. Maybe there was. If we picked these three, I think we're in the same situation. So if this jester's right, then it didn't out itself. If the jester's lying, and sometimes it says when they lie what they do. Yeah. We don't have to deal with that. Yeah, they give you little hints on the pop-up, but sometimes it'll tell you what they do when they're lying. So we either just trust this jester or not. And I think it's just a 50-50. I don't know if there was a way to do that better, but we got it right. All right, we got it right. So we got to go through 7 villages here, and we gain new cards each time. So we just gained the Poisoner, which means one adjacent villager gets corrupted, which means their lie and or their ability doesn't work, but they're still good. They're not evil, but they will still lie. And then it looks like all the evil characters lie in disguise, because otherwise it'd be easy. At least disguise. Maybe they all don't lie. And then the Bard, we will learn how far they are from the closest corrupted character, which works out. So here's our deck again. So we're playing against 2 evils. This could be important that one's a minion and one's a demon. We can see the orange name here. This is a minion and this one's a demon. So the wretch here is also pretending to be specifically a minion. But I'm not sure if that matters for any of our other abilities. So let's just try to figure this out. So the Slayer, we get to pick one, and if it's evil, we execute. If this is the corrupted, or if they're a corrupted or evil that's lying, then they won't be able to kill their target, even if you know it's evil. So I guess that's how we test for that. We got the wretch, has no real abilities. We can use the judge to learn if someone's lying, but obviously if they're corrupted or evil themselves, then they won't tell us if they're lying truthfully. A second judge, and I believe only supposed to have one. And we don't have anyone, like the only 2 who disguise are these, so immediate sus of these 2. There's no corrupted characters. Well, that just can't be true, right? I guess it can be, because one adjacent villager is corrupted. So if this person's not adjacent to any villagers, 2 cards away from the closest evil, puts it there or there. You can see little arrows pop up when I hover this as well. And our final card says that they are good. This person, that they cannot actually lie. So we can mark them off as good. Okay. 2 cards away from the closest evil, which means that there's one closer than the wretch, which makes sense. We can... Alright, we gotta start... So that's already weird, because we were told that there would be a corrupted, as long as there's a villager adjacent to the poison. And this one just adds a fake outcast to the deck view, which we're on now. We can see the bombardier here didn't actually appear, but is in this view. So okay, so one of these 2 judges for sure, because we're not supposed to have doubles. I'm pretty sure, like this is the 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 cards we're playing with. That doesn't, the math doesn't add up already. But I think it's supposed to be individuals. That's my point. We only have 7 cards. Why did I count 8? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Because that one's not actually deployed. What's the Slayer's deployed? The Wretch is deployed. 2 judges. We have a Bard. We have a Hunter, and we have a Confessor. Oh right, because these 2 aren't. Duh. So 2 cards away means it could be the... So I was going to use the Slayer to test the Judge, but I can't do that because one of them could be wrong. No corrupted characters is really sus. But But they could be corrupted themselves, which would make this the poisoner. We could check that. If we use both judges on someone, that should help us out. Because then if this one is, like, this is the one we're kind of sus of. If we think this is the poisoner, then that corrupted the bard. Then we could have both of them and one would lie and one would tell the truth. Or we could, again, point both judges at the confessor we know is good. One would lie and one would tell the truth. That doesn't help us find the other one. It narrows it down, though, because it would be one of these two. And if that proved to be true, then it would have to be that one. So I think that works if we do it this way. We just need to use both judges on something we know to be true. Yeah, so that's not possible. So you're the poisoner. Nope. Oh, that changes things. Okay. It still could be, so it could be this, because the only way, if this is true, the only way someone doesn't get corrupted is if this judge is the other evil, because they would corrupt, you can't corrupt, they can only corrupt a villager. So if they were here, there's no adjacent villagers. Or I guess it could be here, but this is true. So like that kind of means that's true. So it's got to be this one. Let's use, I think that means we can use the Slayer? Yeah. So there we go. That was a complicated one. That's only 2, but we're on Ascension 2, Village 2 of 7. Alright, we got a Fortune Teller. Pick any 2 characters, learn if any of them are evil. And the Oracle, learn that one of 2 characters is a specific minion. So a specific minion. Alright, and what are we playing with? The extra outcast and a minion. Just a regular minion. Okay. Slayer. The Knight, easy check. The Knight's good. Yeah, I'm assuming in the future, or cards down the line, there will be some like a villager, an outcast here that disguises, and then the knight's not quite so free. All right, I also just went through and hovered everyone to make sure. So the gem crafter says 5 is good. The judge we have, the gem cat. So they're confirming each other. Which either means they're both right or both wrong. Or could one be? No. Yeah. Because if this one says 5 is right, and this one says 3 is right, then if 3 is wrong, yeah, they either have to both be right or wrong. I'm pretty sure. The lover tells us that there's one evil adjacent. Which, again, we're pretty sure it's not that one, so the bombardier is scary, because if we execute the bombardier, we do lose outright. So you got to be really sure on that one. So you could be lying. What's our final one? 3 cards away from the closest evil. So that's 1, 2, 3. I guess I can just look at the arrow. So this says one of the gem crafters is evil. Does that work? Because I was trying to do that. I was trying to figure that out. So this one confirms this one confirms this one. So either they're both evil or they're not. Because if you're good, then you're confirming that you're good. And but if you're lying, then that means 3 is not good. Yeah, there's no way only one can be, because it forces. So if we use our judge to check this one, we'll know, we should know. So is it just both gem crafters? It is. All right. There we go. The plague doctor. One good villager is corrupted. That's on game start. So the game start ones kind of go off when they're face down, and then the other stuff kind of happens afterwards. Pick one character if it's corrupted. Learn an evil character. So if you can tell who's corrupted. Okay. Unless they themselves are evil or corrupted. And villagers to the left, invited me within range of 2, are cured of corruption. Learn how many I cured. Okay. Alright. Playing against a Ba and another minion. Alright, the Empress says 4, 2, or 6. One of them must be evil. A minion is 3 away from the closest evil. There is only one other evil, so... Or is there a wretch within here? There is, so that could be that as well. It also could not be, because we got a boss, so there may not even be a wretch deployed. There's the Plague Doctor. That means a random good villager is corrupted. The Slayer. Okay, you say 4, 6, or 7 are evil. 4 and 6 overlap. There are 2 Empresses. The Jester. And a Knight. Alright, easy check on the Knight. Oh, except you could be corrupted. Yep, that's gonna... Because if the Knight is a corrupted character, then I'm gonna murder them even though they're good. So let's not hit them willy-nilly anymore. Okay. So there is no wretch. That's also something we were trying to figure out. So the minion and the evil are 3 apart, unless this person's lying. Ooh, this is gonna be a complex one. So both Empresses are covering 4, 6, and you have 7 and you have 2. And the Jester will tell us who's evil and who's not. And if you're lying, yeah. I think these are getting much more difficult. I think I want to pick the Knight, and then we'll know if the Knight's corrupted. Although I guess it could be, they could both be evil, but... If they're both evil, then one of these has to be true, or both of these have to be true. So yeah, that should tell us something. Not corrupted. So this should... Great. So we know you're good. And you didn't lie, so we know you're good. Which means... that... the Jester could tell us if they don't lie. Because we have 2 goods guaranteed, so then we can pick 2 goods and a 3rd. What do you do if you lie? No. Yeah, one of these is evil. Okay. And it's not that one for sure. And if you're lying, they're all good. And if... Yeah, so if you're lying, they're all good. Which would make sense if they're both lying. So someone's lying and good, and 2 people are lying and bad. And it's just a minion. Yeah, regular minion and a Ba. Who just added the wretch, so I don't think we really need to play around that. And they're 3 cards apart, assuming this is true. So if it was 0, 1, 2, 3, so it could be both. Okay. I think so. I think we'll do it 4, 6, and 7. If we do this, there's one evil. So you're saying that that's evil. Does the Slayer agree? No. So that means one of these two has to be lying. Or both. 4, 6, 7. There's got to be some way to work it out from here. I just don't know if I'm smart enough to do so. I'm gonna vibes guess the jester. Nope. So we lost 5 health for that. So does that mean they were telling the truth? Yeah. So if you're telling the truth, then that must be evil. And they lied that they couldn't count? Does that work? Am I gonna lose? I lost. Oh, it was the 2 empresses. Alright, we lost 1 of our total hearts. But we're not quite done yet. Okay, we got the poisoner, who's gonna corrupt an adjacent someone, and the plague doctor, who's gonna corrupt anyone, and a regular minion. Looking at our recording time, this will probably be our last one. These do take a minute for me to figure out, and this is about the length of video I like to have. 2 cards away from the closest evil. Okay. Cured 1 corruption. So that means within these 2 plus these 2, I believe. Yeah, left and right, so 4 or 1 is a minion. Closest is clockwise. Oh, I like the arrows because I was gonna have to get there and like. So this one tells us the closest evil is clockwise. Number 3 is a real oracle. Cured 2 corruptions. Does that work? Hang on, how many corrupted people are we gonna have? Because you're gonna make 1 and you're gonna make a second one. And in total, I think it's claiming it's cured 3. Because once this one flips up, it cures. So like, even though this overlaps 1, 2, yeah, because we flipped up this one first. So this one would have covered all of this, like half of the board. And then this one would have covered all of the left half of the board. So I guess it, yeah, we can't have cured 3 corruptions. So something's going on with these 2. And the hunters, 2 cards and 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. And there's the plague doctor. So the plague doctor can tell us if one of these is corrupted. The poison is going to be next to a corrupted. 2 cards away from the closest evil. That's over there and over there. 3 cards away. That's there and there. That does make this... There's so much potential lying going on. We're not even that far in. You can't even unlock the next mode until Ascension 4, and my brain is already turning to mush on this. Okay. 4 or 1 is a minion. They're both minions, so that could be the poisoner, and then that would be the corrupted person the poisoner made, I think. Because both, like, you're confirming you're I think we're gonna trust that. I might be wrong. Not corrupted. Okay. That doesn't necessarily mean good, it just means not corrupted. So still could be lying. Oh yeah, I guess that didn't work any... No, if you were lying though. Oh, I'm sure someone's figured it out, but it's not gonna be me. Okay, so if you're evil, what are evil options? Just regular minion? Yeah. So it could have been regular minion. And then the Plague Doctor could have corrupted over here, and the Poisoner could have corrupted over here. So it is possible. For this to be true and this to be false. This to be the minion. Is there anything we know for sure besides that this is one of those two? Can both hunters be lying to us? Because you say that one of those two has to be evil. But you say that it's even further than that. I don't know. I feel like I need to start getting out some veg string and a bulletin board. Does knowing if this was good or evil help us at all? Not really, because if it's true, it could have just been a Plague Doctor corruption versus the Poisoner corruption. I don't think. Knowing if that's true is helpful. And you say it's the closest one's that way. So if that was true, then this would have to point to that one. Which that could be that is the corrupt and that's the poisoner? Oh, I think I've talked myself into stabbing this one hunter. Also, there's two hunters. I didn't think of that. And there's two alchemists. Wait. We're not supposed to... Oh boy, I missed the vital step. Alright, we're definitely stabbing this hunter. No. They just lied. They weren't even bad. Does that guarantee the other hunters? It does. Okay. So if they were corrupt, did you cure two corruptions? Because I did them in this order, right? Yeah, 6, 8. What? Is there no 7? Yeah, this should be the order I revealed them. Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just went in a circle. So if you cured two corruptions, it should have been that way. So you shouldn't have been corrupted. Unless you're also corrupted or bad. Now we do have two alchemists. And if you cured one corruption, that would have been this way, because we did that one, and I don't think you could be corrupted. So stabbing this alchemist, okay. I way overthought that one, but that's the kind of thing this game's gonna do to you. So I think that's gonna be it. There was a lot of brain logicking things out. This seems really fun. You just kind of get lost in like your own web of who's lying and who's not. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a really interesting, fun game made by only 2 people, and yeah, this is not an ad, but it definitely could have been. This game's been a lot of fun, and I'm gonna sign off before this video gets too long, but there might be more of this coming up. But do like the video if you enjoyed this, because that would really let me know that me trying to figure out these kind of puzzly things would be something people would be interested in. There's also other game modes that I am slightly more interested in. The endless here, with everything being randomized, and also the deck building, I believe, is coming out with the actual game. Will be a lot of fun, so looking forward to that personally. Anyway, like I was saying, do like the video if you enjoyed this, and subscribe for maybe content like this going forward, and comment on your thoughts for sure. Did you solve it faster than I did? I'm sure many people did, and I will see you in the next one.